hand service. I decided this. What in the world is wrong with you? Hey, what's going on? Do you too? Oh, you heard anything? I don't know what we were talking about. Anyway, this is SCL 0320.
Joe Johnson 030.
We are back for a non-spoiler review for the hit series, The Flash. And tonight's episode was really interesting. When we went through the spoiler-free review, I had certain words about this episode, but the last 15 minutes of the episode resonated with me so much that I was like, take my money. Just take my money right now. You know? But no, it was an interesting episode to say the least. It wasn't necessarily bad and it wasn't necessarily all the way good, but the name of this episode was Rogue Heir. And basically, the synopsis reads, as Wells once again gets an upper hand on the S.T.A.R Labs team, Barry realizes he needs to make a big move and reaches out to an old person, an old foe, for help. Joe and Caitlin warn Barry that this person cannot be trusted. True to form, this person may have their own agenda. And what does that mean for the plans of Barry and his team? So this episode was interesting for a lot of different reasons. Now, a lot of the villains that you remember from the whole entire series, they get brought back up. All the actors from those same exact ones, all the powers they had, they come into play in this one. Like the whole concept of the Rogues, which are basically Barry Allen or the Flash's main villains, they get their own, I guess, flake in this episode, in the sense that you get to see like what they're capable of together. And they've all been under this containment unit, and it all goes downhill basically for the team because of certain events that kind of take place. But it all starts off with what is Eobard Thawne or Harrison Wells' ultimate plan. And it's a scary thing because for me in this episode, I felt Barry was really vulnerable. Most of the episode, he was, I think in my sense, he was like contained with a lot of fear. And that fear was driving him to make unethical and even like stupid mistakes that he normally would never really make. He's trying to be something he's not, but at the same time, he's consumed with the guilt from the fact that his mother died and he feels responsible for it. He feels like he could have done something about it. And you can kind of see that on Grant Gustin, the person that plays the Flash, most of this episode, even up until the end. But what's so interesting about this episode, to me, was the most interesting part was the fact that Iris and Eddie, their relationship, it hasn't gone anywhere, even though Eddie has been gone for God knows how long because Eobard has been keeping him captive. And in this episode, they have a real climax to their relationship. And it's done really well. It's acted really well. I really like that part of the episode, but more than anything, like I was surprised how real it kind of felt to me.
Yeah.
But what are some of the things you're going to talk about this episode without saying too much?
I think you talked about everything. I'm joking. Let's see what I even talked about. I don't know if this is the right time to ask this question, but because I think this more so kind of goes into spoilers a little bit. But this episode, and it just hit me while you started talking, we don't know what happened to Grimes. Like, that doesn't get touched on in this entire episode.
It doesn't. That's true. So
I completely forgot about it. But that's goes to show you that this episode was very, very entertaining, man. Like, I was engaged this entire episode and, went on for the ride and kept me intrigued the entire time. Apart from, like, how I felt about the episode, like, after watching it, it did a good job of, like, sucking me in and engaging me as a viewer.
Mm-hmm. That's real. I think that for me, I was kind of let down with some of the actions that were taking place as far as the plot turn, with Barry's motivations to do things and the mistakes that he kind of makes in this one. I felt like it could have been used elsewhere, maybe for next season, not the episode before the season finale. I felt like it was kind of like just pushed at me. and it rubbed me really uncomfortable. I really had a lower rating for the episode up until the last 15 minutes of the movie, show. And the last 15 minutes were just epic. Like, if you haven't seen the episode yet, like, you need to go check out cwtv.com, check out Hulu, whatever, because it was something serious. And like, all the things that you wanted from a crossover from the series Arrow to this series, and then to the new series that's about to come out, The Legends of Tomorrow, you kind of get like a glimpse into that in the final 15 minutes of this episode. And it's all face off with Eobor Thawne. And I thought that how they treated the fight, I thought it was done really well. It's choreographed really well. I think that it was heavy on the CG, but at the same time, the practical effects and the cinematography, it did it justice. It wasn't just like a whole bunch of shaking and rumbling and just like stupidness. Like, it was like, okay, what you expect of a final, season finale kind of fight, all honesty. And I really liked that. I thought that saved the episode. Even more so than that, the relationship stuff. I wish they would have kind of personalized this episode more and kind of given it more character direction, more so than just kind of adding something random to the fold like this. But what do you think? What are your last thoughts on that? I guess on the last part of it too.
I'm a fan of the series. This episode, from the previous episode of what I've seen, I feel like, not to like, if you guys haven't watched this episode, I don't want you guys to go in like a negative perspective, but my honest opinion, this is one of the weaker episodes that I've seen from the series, but still love the series. So yeah, overall I'd probably give this episode maybe like I gave it a 9 in the spoiler review. So a couple of scenes really stuck out and really nailed it for me. So I give it a 9.
What you're saying is the end saved the episode. All right, no. Well, there were some really good scenes. There was some good, I guess, character development, and especially with the relationships. And I mean, Cisco's always just hilarious. Like, everything Cisco does, he's a comic. Like, he's hilarious. Like, his interaction with what's the name, sister was really funny. But I mean, like you said, like, series in and of itself, it always brings a smile to your face. Like, it's always something you can kind of pick out of it and really enjoy it. And it's really different from Arrow. Like, they are really different series, but they do play off of each other really well, especially how this episode ends. So I'm excited for second season, but I'm even more excited to see how things are gonna turn up. Based on what Eobor Thawne has done in this episode, the things that he set in motion, I don't think it was all for nothing. I think there's an intricate plan behind it all, and you'll see when you actually look at the movie, or you won't say the movie, the show. So definitely check it out on Hulu tomorrow, or check it out on cwtv.com. If you like this review, please leave a like below in this section right here. If you have any comments, please leave your comments in the section below. But definitely, if you have any spoiler comments, please leave them for the other video. Go to the other video. I know it's a little long, but put all comments there for that. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and definitely we cannot wait to review the season finale. And I think that is Arrow season finale tomorrow. Oh snap! Dang, it's about to go down, y'all.
About to go down.
Anyway, we out, everybody. Hopefully y'all have a great, blessed night. We'll be back later. I did the Eobor Thawne thing.